Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's having a great morning. I need to turn on some brighter lights. That's better, I think. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you guys can see, I am positive so far. I've only taken one trade. It was a win. I haven't set out of any trades, haven't missed any trades. So we're trying to start the week off right. Trying. We are trying. Might end up break even with this trade. We'll see. This is one of those I still question a certain rule, but we'll see. I did look over this over the weekend and I'm still like, I don't know. So depending on how this trade goes, I might have to relook at it one last time. If we get down to 97, I have to manually break even because we'll be hitting that rotation level down there. All right, we got to break even now. We just hit it and created a double bottom on it. You see? So I'd rather break even in a circumstance like that because typically it's going to reverse. Not all the time, but so I'd rather be safe than sorry. Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Applejacks. How was you guys this weekend? I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not as emotional as I was Friday, so that's good. Feeling way better. There's a lot going on. A lot. And there's the loss there. So, yeah, I still want to look at that because I'm still not all the way sure how I want to do that, but at least I was given the chance to break even with the rotation level being there. So it'll just be something that I gotta figure out. So I definitely looked at it on Thursday. Good morning, Online Safety. How are you this morning? I don't know which side I want to lean to. Probably this side. Glad I'm feeling better. It'd be like that sometimes. Yeah. Really, in a nutshell, I was ready to end a chapter. And, you know, sometimes when you're the person that's ending the chapter, even though you're ending the chapter, it's still like emotional, especially when I was triggered a lot with certain things. It was just a lot, you know? So I'm just glad that I can move on and start healing from the emotional aspect of everything. Let me see something. I wanted to look. So the trade that I just broke even on, like I said, I was looking at that particular thing on Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 wins, a loss, and a break even. So I'm pretty sure we're just going to keep going with that. And we'll just have to be okay with it. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Because since March 11th, that trade only lost one time, and that was on Thursday. And that's what made me look at it. So 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 1. Yeah, so we'll just keep going with it. Something I have been wanting to make sure that I pay attention to this week specifically is like most of the time I don't. So the top yellow line that I just put on the chart, that's where my minor level is. And I tell you guys, like, if it's gonna hit my minor level, I'd rather it wick off of the entry bar, not go through the body of the entry candle. But what I have been paying attention to, though, is that if everything else sets up properly with the trade, and it goes through the body of the entry candle as far as my minor level goes, it'll still work out, but only if we are reacting off of a new higher low. So if we aren't reacting off of a new higher low, it's only that type of reversal pattern that works. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention. Like right now, it's setting up. If this bar ends up closing, it would be setting up properly. So I'll just sit back and look, and I'll make sure that as I'm journaling this week to write down all the times that it happens, because for a long time I didn't write them down at all because I wasn't trading it. But now that I have to spend less time paying attention to other stuff, now I really want to pay attention to that. So we'll just kind of see. It's looking like it's rejecting no matter what. So, but yeah, you're good. No trades yet. It's been a pretty slow morning. London gave me a textbook entry, then stopped me out. At least it was your A+ setup, textbook entry. So can't even be mad. Can't even be mad. Let's see. But yeah, I didn't really have to review much. I don't think I reviewed anything this weekend at all. I did forget to reprint my cheat sheet though, so that was dumb of me, but that's all right. I'll do that later today. The only thing I did this weekend, honestly, was do what I always do and go back through all the trades. I used to like go through the actual charts, but we're not doing that. So because at this point I do a pretty good job of making sure I'm including all the trades for the day when I'm journaling. So all I did was I went back through the journal to write down like all the valid trades based on the new adjustments that I had made and stuff like that, just so I could see like, okay, how would the week have gone if all these adjustments were in place ahead of time, if I didn't sit out of trades, if I didn't take invalid trades. That's what I like to look at, because that's really all that matters to me. So it would have been a very great week. So we'll just see how this week goes. I know there's not a whole lot of news events this week, so that's always a doozy, because you just wonder how well is the market going to move, because today there's no news. Tomorrow there's like a light impact tentative news, but that never ever affects my trade. Like anything that's tentative, it never affects my trading. Then we have all low impact news or light impact, whichever one you want to call it, on Wednesday. Thursday is just a 9:30 light impact, and then Friday we have a high impact. That's it. So I definitely wonder how the market's going to move around. Now, with there not being very much news and the volatility is probably going to be a lot lower this week compared to last week, hopefully the market moves fast enough for me to get trades and slow enough for me to be able to comprehend what's going on and make sure that I'm, in every trade or whatever. But it's the same goal of take every trade. Stop sitting out. You're screwing yourself up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I do have one of the 25Ks renews on Thursday. And it's about $1,200 from being funded. So we'll kind of see how the week goes, see where we're at on Wednesday. If it's a pretty good Monday through Wednesday session, then I'll just carry the balance forward like I did on the 250Ks, and we'll just go from there. Because, it does have a positive balance. So only thing missing is some drawdown, which at this point on all of the accounts, I'm missing about $500 of drawdown. Except one account, I'm only missing about $350. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now we are at my major level at 94.50. It's reacting off the bottom of it. I am in an uptrend bias. I don't think I've changed biases at all since the market opened. I have not. So that also lets me know that the market is slow, because the last time, so it changed from a downtrend bias to an uptrend bias at 2:15 this morning. And it's been an uptrend bias since. Anytime I don't see a whole lot of flipping back and forth between, the overall trend bias, I know that the market's not doing much. And then looking at the 5-minute chart, I can see why. We had this nice little uptrend, the wick. I think this is like maybe the 840 candle, I think. But we just kind of been, each bar has just been going back and forth. No, that's the 835 candle. But just been going back and forth and back and forth, creating a little range. I do need to wait, I actually might mute the site though. Oh wait, Hamza's live? Time to go to Hamza's stream. Alright, at this point I watch 5 people while they're live. I don't think I can handle any more. Oh wait, wrong stream. I know he normally streams, I think, the London session. Wait, maybe I won't mute the site, but I just have to mute a couple of them. Because I can't listen to 5 people talk at once. It'll drive me nuts. Hamza said my charts look complex. Said I'd never seen it before. Hamza is so funny. All right, close. So we did not. I have a feeling. Yep, I know we were gonna push too far. I don't like taking trades off of the level before it actually changes. All right, I just need to turn it down a little bit because I didn't realize my mic picks stuff up so easily. I sound like you. Yeah, it's 5. Have you, Nutty, and Travis up right now? Yeah, so I started off with just Alpine and Nutty, and then I met Methodical and Husk, so I have them open. And then Hamza just started. I don't know if he's always going to stream this early in the morning because I forget what time it is wherever he lives, and I felt like he was doing London because he usually works during this. I don't remember. But either way, so those are going to be my 5, and it's going to have to stay there because I can't do too much more than that. And I know sometimes, having so many tabs open on YouTube specifically can kind of overload the computer sometimes. So got to make sure I don't do that. But I definitely love supporting them. Hamza is so silly. Hamza, with his last payout, he said that he's now net positive with what he's put into Apex. So that's exciting. Super exciting. All right, let me write in everyone's stream. This is where I screw myself up sometimes. Like on this trade right here, even if it sets up how I want it to, I can't take it because now, so I still have the uptrend bias, right? But now we're below my major level. So even if everything sets up volume wise with this trade, which it looks like it's going to invalidate itself. But I do remember that I forgot about that rule in I feel like it might have been Friday. I don't really remember. But because we're under the major level, it's providing too much resistance. Where is it? It was Friday that I took a trade like that. And because normally, once we are getting so close to the bias change zone, we don't typically set up those trades the way that I want them to be set up anyway. So it's like they always invalidate themselves. So when they are valid, I just kind of always forget the rule for whatever reason. Now that one would have worked out, but it didn't even set up the way I wanted it to anyway. So can't believe it's almost 9:30. My mom and grandma comes back from vacation today, so I'm excited. They've been gone since like Thursday. They went to Punta Cana and had them a great old time. So I won't have the peaceful house to myself anymore. I did literally nothing the whole weekend. Just sat in peace. Yeah, I haven't been. My mom asked me if I wanted to go, girl. If I'm gonna go to certain places, it's gonna be with my man, not my family members. You get my drift. But no, they had a great time. They should have packed me in their suitcase. They going somewhere else. I feel like in a couple months, child. I can't keep up. My mom and my grandma are like, I'm gonna enjoy my life, and as you should. I encourage them. I'm ready to start traveling again. I probably will. I think I want to go. One of my best friends wants to go to Vegas soon, which I haven't been to Vegas in 2 years. I feel like it's been 2 years. So I feel like I celebrated my 4-year debt-free anniversary in Vegas, and this will be year 6. So yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. I don't really like Vegas. I mean, I like Vegas, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a gambler, so whatever. But I can say that every time I go to Vegas, I do something different. It's a couple of things that I have to do that I always do. Like, I have to eat breakfast at Peppermill. That is my favorite restaurant. They used to have this diner in, I believe it was the Stratosphere, that I used to love, but they changed. It's not the same restaurant anymore. But yeah, there's always a couple of things that I just love doing over and over. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I probably will. I ain't gonna say never, because I did say next time I went, I wanted to do the other zip line in Fremont where you're like on your belly. But I don't know, because I just feel like if this cable break, how am I gonna turn my body real quick to try to get on my feet? So I don't know about that. I might try it. We'll see. But we did the other zip lining off the Lynx Hotel. And let me tell y'all something. See, when I was younger, I was an adventurist, okay? Theme park, I'm getting on every single ride. I don't care how high I'm getting on every single ride. But as I age, I just sit here like, of all the ways to potentially be taken off this earth, I'm not sure if that's one of the ways I want to go. All right, I'm going to sit out of this trade right here because it's setting up the way I want to, but my entry is going to be 3 ticks away from where I would need to break even. This is a counter trend trade, and we are way too close to the level that changed my minor trend from a downtrend to an uptrend. So whenever I'm completely counter trend like that, I always break even at that level because I'm trying to get back into a level that it might not be able to break. So right here, I would have just ended up breaking even anyway. So there was literally no point in taking the trade. Just too close. But yeah, so it was me and my sister, and we did the zip lining off the Lynx Hotel. And let me tell y'all, first of all, I was scared. Okay. When we went up the elevator to get to the first part where you sign the documents or whatever, your waivers, I was like, we're kind of high. And it didn't help that there was this one lady who was freaking the out. Okay. She was trembling. She was crying. And I was just like, look, I'm scared as hell too. If you do it, I'll do it. She was like, you really gonna do it? I said, yes. Like, I basically got tears in my eyes, but I'm like laughing, crying. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, okay. So they went up the next elevator before we did. So I get up there and she's still up there crying. She was like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. So now I'm freaking out because she just told me she was going to go if I go. And now she not going. And my sister just over here laughing. Y'all, we was so high. Whatever building that is that looks like a Rome building or whatever. It's like, it almost looks like a stadium kind of building. I don't know. But I could see over the top of it. Why are we so high? So I was freaking out. The guy hooked us up and he was like, I said, okay, I changed my mind. Can I please get down? He was like, sure, just give me a second. Next thing y'all know, the shit started. Sir, what? And it didn't help that like my sister, so I'm 5'10", probably at the time I might have been like 170, 175, I don't know. And my sister, she's like 5'5", maybe 140 pounds. And then we had this lady and her son who were small and thin. So, you know, I'm not a big girl, but compared to them, I am. Y'all, we going, and I hear my sister say, Amber, why you so far ahead? I look back, I was like, shit, I'm going fast as hell. We got to the end of that thing, and the guy said, did you have fun? I said, hell no. I told y'all not to do this to me. I was like, unhook me now. Y'all, my heart was just racing for like 20 minutes after. Because I looked down, I could see my mom. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Never again. But then my sister was like, well, next time, can we go to Fremont and do the zip line? And I'm like, girl, why? Why do you want to do these things? Like, I was already stupid enough. My 21st birthday, me and my cousin went out to Vegas. I was like, look, cuz if you could just pay for your ticket, I got the hotel. I went for a whole week. I think she might have only been there like 4 days. And ironically, I didn't know one of our older cousins was going to be out there at the same time with his girlfriend. So we just so happened to be posting, and of course my mom knew, but he was posting from Vegas, and my mom was like, did you see he's in? I was like, no. So, you know, we meet up. And again, at 21, I was an adventurous. So I'm like, y'all, it's these 3 roller coasters on top of the Stratosphere Hotel. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So they like, all right. So, you know, we in the bottom of the Stratosphere. They're telling us about the rides. And, you know, they're asking if we want to do a la carte, like each ride. Like, do you only want to do 1 or 2? Do you want to do all of them? And I'm telling them like, yo, y'all some punks. Like, we going on everything. What y'all talking about? Talking mad shit, y'all. So we all get all 3 rides. Y'all, they take you up to the observation deck first, which, you know, the Stratosphere looks like an observation deck. It looks like a diamond. So we go up there and I'm like, what did I just get myself into? So as he's like talking about what you can see from each angle, you know, whatever, I see this little thing poking out the side of the building doing this. I said, excuse me, what's that? He said, oh, the rides that you paid for, that's one of them. I said, huh? I did what? Y'all, I started freaking out. I was like, y'all, I can't do it. I can't do it. My cousins was like, hell no, you made us pay for all 3 rides you get. I was like, do y'all see what that ride is doing and how like high up we are right now? My cousin, she taking pictures. She leaning on the window. I'm like, cuz the window might fall out. I'm gonna need you to not do that. So we get up there and I'm like, bro, what was I thinking? I told them, I said, look, I give y'all all y'all money back. I try to hustle the tickets on the street downstairs. Like, I'll just give y'all money back and I'll just take the L. Like, I cannot do this. Like, what was I thinking? So the first ride we got on was the one that's kind of like the Superman at Six Flags, where it's just like a tower and everybody sits around the tower with their back to the tower and it just shoots you up and down. Cool, I could take that one. The second one we did is like a roller coaster car. I feel like it only has maybe 4 or 6 rows, and it pulls you up off the platform. Like if you ever standing on the bottom of, like on the ground below the stratosphere, and you look up, you're gonna see this tiny little line that's hanging off the side. That's that roller coaster. It pulls you up off the platform, shoots you over, and you just sit in there. And it ain't that long of a track, and it just sits there, and then it pulls you back, and then it does it a couple of times. So when it was time for that ride, I was freaking out. I said, I can't go in the front. I can't go in the front, because if this thing goes off track and we go straight to the ground, I can't be the first person to hit the ground. I can't. Now, mind you, all growing up, I used to always sit in the front of every roller coaster, because they always tell you the front of the roller coaster is the fastest. In the back, you stay in the air the longest. But baby, that one, we weren't doing that. So then the third one was the one that I just saw like hanging off the side. And so it's like four, I feel like it's four or six, I don't know. But it's a two people per car. You all facing each other. There's no net underneath you. And it just spins in a circle. Everybody's facing each other, and it's just spinning. And then over time, it pulls you out to where you're angled down and you're still spinning. Y'all, just don't do it. I don't even know if those things are still open, but if they are, don't do it. Just don't. Oh, where are you going? If you go to Vegas, you got to hit up the WNBA game. I probably will, because me and my best friend were talking about that. We want to go to a couple of Indiana Fever games too, since we are pretty close. You're going to Spain, France, and the Netherlands. Ooh, that's a for real vacation. First time I did a zip line was in Costa Rica after I got back, though. You thought, that might not have been a great idea. I feel you. I think the only other time I had the option of zip lining was a trip that I took like back in probably 2013, 14. It was sometime in 14. I went on this all expense paid trip to Mexico. I was in this company, and like they took certain leaders in the company, and those leaders were able to choose like their top 2 leaders on their teams. And so we were going out there because we had this like vacation club, and we were touring some of the properties so that we kind of knew how to sell that part of the services or whatever. And the guys, because there was 3 of us women, but one of the ladies, she was a lot older, and then the other girl that was there, she was like maybe 5 years older than me. And so all the guys wanted to go zip lining, so we like, all right, cool, baby. They said, well, the last zip line, once you're done with that, you got to swim through a cave, and the cave is however long, and then you get back to the swim through a cave, like a dark cave where I don't know what the hell is in here. Yeah, you tripping. Because I think the last one like zipped you into the water, and then you just had to swim through it. So we didn't do that. We didn't. The hell no. Yeah, scared me. Sell now, Rashid. You can sell. I'm not gonna sell. I gotta sell when my charts tell me to sell. Okay. I've had a few phantom trades via the Quan Tower trade copier. I'm glad I noticed before the drawdown became unrecoverable. Online safety. Do you have do you keep like a positions and an order tab open? At least try to put it like towards the bottom of your screen. Now me, I have mine like, so on my screen that I'm trading off of, I always keep this open. Like there's a whole corner dedicated to it. Now that's the positions tab, but then, whenever I'm out of a trade now because of something that happened to me last week, I just immediately click the orders tab. Now I could just detach them and, make the box smaller and just stack them on top of each other. I guess I could do that, but you definitely want to keep, anytime you trade copying especially, you definitely want to keep a positions and an order tabs open, because you just never know. The Chicago sky. I don't want to go see no Chicago sky. No, I'm just kidding. We want to go to a couple of games, and we probably will. You get to see Caitlin's first game since it's in Connecticut next Tuesday night. It should be fun. I was reading online how so many people were upset that her game was like the only one that was streamed out of, some of the college phenoms that are now in the WNBA. And I guess there was some guy who streamed Angel Reese's game, and there was another game I feel like that he streamed, and he basically proved how the viewership is should be able to be so much more this year. And then I saw someone trying to say that the reason why they didn't stream the other games is because the seats weren't, there was a lot of empty seats. Well, the difference was whatever stadium it was that I feel like it was Caitlin that played in, out of however many seats it was. I think it might have been like a 7,000 seater, and there was 6,000 or 6,500 people there. But then when you compared it to the other stadiums that looked like they were empty, well, those stadiums sat twice as many people as the stadium that she played in. So of course it's gonna look empty, but they had the same number of people that were at the game. So it looked bad, but it wasn't bad though. Hard pass on swimming through a cave. Yeah, ain't my thing. Trader Vay would never. You and your Trader Vay. It's the preseason. I didn't understand people upset at that, but hey. Listen, people get upset about practically anything. But it is nice to see the viewership increase. There have been a lot of great WNBA players, over time, but I also just feel like, I don't know. I don't even like watching women's sports I don't like watching sports very much anymore at all anyway. But I'm just someone who doesn't really like watching professional sports anymore, especially like the NBA. I just can't, because I used to be that kid where you named a person who'd been sitting on the bench all season and I know what team they're on. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved watching NBA games and stuff like that. But then over time, it's just like, I get it because you're already pro. So why do you need to try so hard? And of course, you don't want to risk injury and stuff like that. But seeing so many games go to 120 points, 130 points, like, what is this? There's no defense. It's very annoying. So for a long time, I would only watch the playoffs, and I would, just leave it at that, or watch the last 2 or 3 rounds of the playoffs. But now I just don't want to watch any of it. I don't. I really don't. Now, women's sports, I always feel like is a lot different, because to me, I feel like people don't really like watching women's sports because women's sports is so fundamental, but that's what we're taught. We're taught more fundamentals than flashy stuff, but it can be boring when you just see a whole bunch of fundamental basketball. I remember when so many guys used to post like clips of women doing up and unders, and they're like, this is a travel. First of all, I can show you what a travel is in the NBA. These people can take 4 or 5 steps and it's not a travel. But it's fundamental basketball, and it's nice to watch. But maybe because I play basketball myself for so long, I'm just not interested. I don't even want to watch anything anymore at all. I just don't. It's too early in the morning to be talking about lunch, but here we are. Oh my goodness, Apple Jacks. Oh, how do I want to... So this sale is setting up if it stalls here for a little bit longer. However, I would be selling so close to this rotation level that I would have to break even at. So we're going to sit out of that. I would really prefer for it to push up a lot more if I am going to take the trade. But we'll see. We will see. Yeah. I just want to see it pull away from that a little bit more. But like I said, I need it to be quite a bit of a stall. So we'll kind of see what happens first. It might actually end up, pushing down way before the trade even validates itself. Hello, Ozzy. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. But yeah, so far I've taken 2 trades. The first trade actually was at 850, which I guess isn't that bad considering it's a Monday with no news. But like I told y'all earlier, once I seen the news pattern this week, I'm like, we might not see a whole lot of movements. Let's see. That would be like 10 ticks. 1142. You're good? Good. Good, good, good. 42. I need it to stall a little bit longer. It's going to push down beforehand. It's all right, though. I just needed like an extra 100 in volume, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. $10.47. Let's see if we get a rejection here. My minor level's at 101. We got the VWAP there. We also have the buy rotation level. So let's see if we can get a rejection to continue the move up. As long as we wick through 101. If 101 goes through the body of the candle, the trade is null and void. It looks like Hams is in the buyers. Uh-oh. All right. That's invalidated now. Where did this volume come from? No News Monday still puzzles me, I swear. I swear. I like to start the week off with a bang. And we can't bang if there's nothing to move the market. I definitely thought we were going to end up pushing here, but I can say that my 101 level was a weak level. So it's kind of up in the air as far as if we were going to reject there or not. But to go the whole first hour of the session in the same bias, I can't tell you the last time that's happened. And to basically be in an uptrend bias for the last 7.5 hours is crazy. Like, this is some ugly stuff. Oh, Hamza must be getting on. So what am I going to listen to now? Everybody tried to get in buys around the same area. All right. We'll turn methodical up. The patience you have to sit through this market is crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. Good morning, Bill. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. Let's see, smooth that old song. You love it when I smile. How was your weekend, Bill? What did you do special? Bill always come through with your entertainment. Trading is going good this morning. I've only taken 2 trades. The first trade was at 850. The second trade was at 903. First trade was a win. Second trade I had to break even. I can show you guys the win because I forgot to do that. So this is the trade I had to break even with. This is the trade that I won. Just divergence off of the new session high. Was a very seamless trade. Got straight to the point with that one. But it's just a very slow morning, so the good thing is I'm not forcing any trades, which is important. And I haven't sat out of any trades either, so we're good there. See what kind of rejection we get right here. I'm not looking for the sell though. I'm more so looking to see how a buy was set up. Now, do I take it? I don't know because it's starting with the double bottom. And, oh, actually, well, yeah. That is a question mark that's on my my cheat sheet. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Does not set up like this very often at all. I think in 8 weeks of data, I might have had it set up one time with it starting with the double bottom or double top. It won, As a matter of fact, if I can at least find it, which I don't think this is going to reject in time anyway. It's not. What I do want to look at is I don't have any. Me and NQ beefing today. Claw back most of the drawdown, now waiting for a quality setup. Good, good, good. I'm just glad you recognized it, because the reason why I now have my positions tab open at all times is because I remember when I first got the trade copier, the Apex copier, there was one time where I had the work. I was like, why are all my trades doubled? When I looked at the trade performance, I said, all of my followers are double and I'm confused. Well, I had a second workspace open that also had the copier and I didn't pay attention to it. So that was my first lesson. But I was like, oh, that's just a mistake. I'll just make sure I don't have another workspace open. Cool. Well, there was another time that I was in a trade, and for whatever reason, I didn't have my sound up on my computer, which is crazy because you guys know I have an alert for every time there's a reversal bar. But yeah, so I couldn't hear like order field, like none of that. And so I just so happened to open up the control center, and I was like, how is my P&L like this? I'm so confused. Well, once I like dove a little bit deeper into it, there were follower accounts that didn't get filled on the leader. And so when I hit the stop loss on or take profit, no, actually, I think it was the take profit. When I hit the take profit on the leader account, that was the entry for the followers. So when that happens, you know, you have a lot of people who say, oh, whatever trade copier it is glitching. And no, that's not what it is, because technically that's what copiers are supposed to do, depending on how they are coded. Most copiers are coded where the only thing that matters is the orders. So if your follower does not get filled with the leader, it is a high chance that your leader's exit is going to be your follower's entry. So that only had to happen to me one time until I was like, all right, well, we'll just keep a positions tab open and we'll leave it at that. So like on my regular screen that I trade off of, I have the data box on the right so that anywhere I hover, I can see the price of the VWAP or a pivot level, whatever. Then I have my actual chart that I enter the trades on. The top left is the, these Rinkos, so I can see inside of the candles. Which I only care about that when I'm in a trade. I just like to see that. And then I have the control center at the bottom with the positions tab open. And that's pretty much all the real estate for me. But yeah. Thought about my Bill. He played golf. Tore my Achilles in December. And so playing golf was a blessing. Ouchie, wawa. Did you have to have surgery? Because one of my friends, he tore his Achilles, and I guess because he was kind of going through a rough patch at the time, like with his job and stuff, I don't think his insurance would have covered it at the time because he was still like temporary on his job or something. And he actually tried to recover without surgery. I remember when I tore my ACL, I was like, cool, we could talk about all the non-surgical options. But when that lady said you're going to have like pretty bad arthritis in your knee by the time you're in your mid-20s, I said surgery it is, because no. Here to say hi, good luck for today. Thank you, Hamza. I appreciate it. He was rehearsing in my church play. Bill, I hope you lying. Please tell me you lying. But you know what? You can actually you can injure yourself doing the most basic things. Like when I was in high school, our assistant coach, we were in practice, right? And she was standing at the top, like at the top of the 3-point line in the middle. And she was telling the point guard that, like, yo, if such and such happens, you need to stand kind of like with your left shoulder to the basket at the 3-point line right here. And she was just dribbling. Y'all, she took one step and she just fell to the ground. She didn't even take like an explosive step or anything. She took one step, fell, and she tore her Achilles. It was gone. Completely tore it. She was holding her leg and I looked and I said, the back of her ankle don't look right. And sure enough, she tore her Achilles. Sure enough, she did. I had a cousin that tore his Achilles. I forget what he was doing. Knowing him, he probably was playing basketball. I forgot what he was doing. But the Achilles tears are no joke. I tried not to, but after 2 months, I said, surgery, let's go. Yeah. Because, I mean, I get it. You know, people are afraid of surgery, afraid of recovery. Am I going to be able to get back to work on time? Or am I going to be able to do this, do that? But when you look at some of what it's going to cost you health-wise to not get the surgery, it's like, man, because I had to think about it. Either I can be in pain temporarily from the recovery process of surgery, which I had to have 2 surgeries on my ACL, or I can be in pain literally for the rest of my life because she told me I'm going to have arthritis at 20, 25. So you want me to have arthritis my entire life? No. You're so intelligent and exceptionally articulate. Thank you, online safety. I'll review the copy your trades after market close and work out a control mechanism. Definitely. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we already have to worry about the market giving us what we want. We got to worry about the psychological aspect of trading, not going on tilt. There's so many things that you already have to deal with in the trading process. The last thing you want is for the mechanical things to be going wrong and you don't know. Also, if I were you, I thought a trade was setting up. I would also look into coding, well, not coding, but using hotkeys if you can, because that can be helpful as well. Do I want to, like, I do have a hotkey for a flatten all, even though I rarely have to use it, but I do have it. So at least with the positions tab, I can right click and flatten all anyway, but I also just have a hotkey just in case. Just never know. It's not my favorite trade, but it is setting up. So what did we say? We can't sit out of trades. Now it might invalidate itself beforehand. It's getting close. It's not invalid. It's not. I don't like it. There's no zigzag attached. So I didn't attach to bar 4. And we got a TP. Not exactly my favorite, but it's set up how it was supposed to. So you gotta take it. I'm telling y'all that it's the focus for the week. Take every trade. When I write down didn't take / missing and write those trades below it, I want it to be very few trades that are underneath that section. NinjaTrader, how was your recent interaction with NinjaTrader's client services team? I had no interaction. What the hell? You had ACL surgery. I did at 15 years old. Then I had to go back in a month later because I had so much scar tissue built up in my knee that therapy was doing nothing. And I was in therapy like, I feel like 36 hours after my surgery. and I already lost my entire quad. Whole thing was gone. It wasn't even 48 hours. I went in there. He was like, all right, let's look at your stitches. He unwrapped my leg. I said, what is that? My leg looked like an alien. What is this? Like, legit, it was like my thigh, my quad came all the way in, then it was my knee. And the fact that I could lose so much muscle mass that quickly within 48 hours, that was insane. Insane. And so I was going to therapy like 2-3 days a week. And after a month, my knee couldn't bend past like 60 degrees. So I had to go back into surgery. They didn't open my leg back up, but they gave me cortisone shots in my knee. And then they just started like basically breaking all the scar tissue manually. That recovery was just as painful as the first one when they actually had to cut me open. Because just imagine like bending someone's knee, like forcing yourself through scar tissue. So after the first surgery, I couldn't bend my knee past 60 degrees. But then after my second surgery, now my knee doesn't completely straighten anymore. So, but I can bend it all the way back. Well, not all the way back, because I still can't bend it as far back as I can the other one. But you know what? We'll just have to take it for what it is at this point. Good morning, Clarity. How are you this morning? It's been rough, so y'all pray for however I could say. I've been getting a lot of prayers and it's working out. Sorry to hear. Listen, I'll be praying for you. It's a rough recovery. And then, of course, the older we get, the longer the recovery is. It's like, man, because I had a back injury. What was that? Like the end of, what was that? Was that the end of August, I feel like? And legit, it took me like 6 months to get better. I don't know what it was. I didn't injure it working out or anything. It's just like I woke up one day and the pain was insane. I don't know what happened, but it was pretty bad. It was, I'm not gonna lie. And it took me 6 months. 6 months to recover. I mean, I was heat padding. I was trying my best not to take medication, but sometimes it was just like, bro, the pain is ridiculous. There were times where I could barely lift my legs just to walk. It was really bad. I know it probably has something to do with one of my discs in my back, because I could tell when one of my discs slip out of place, but it was like no matter what I did, it just would not go back in properly. It was insane. That is probably the longest it ever took me to recover from such a basic injury where I didn't even do anything. You're still nursing a back injury from 2018. It's hard. Back injuries are hard. And like for me, I always had knee and back injuries. I never had like ankle injuries, no, nothing like that. I also always had stress fractures in my shins. So playing basketball just was too much. It was too much. But between me having, like, I used to have muscle spasms in my back really, really bad when I was younger, to the point where I actually tore one of the back muscles on my right side, and I didn't know. I still kept playing because I was just I was crazy. Okay, I played through any pain. Because, you know, the adrenaline from the game, the pain is almost gone at this point. But yeah, I found out like months later that I actually tore the muscle. And because I kept playing on it like that, if I stand to the side, you can look and see like a bulge on that side of my back. And so between that, how structurally I was born with my back just all out of whack, and then you add in I herniated the disc in my back. Like, it just, back injuries for me are really hard to recover from because my spine is not aligned properly in any way, shape, or form. So it's very hard for me. And you just don't realize like how much you need your back for things sometimes. And then being tall doesn't help. Like, I promise y'all, the first house that I buy that I live in, I feel sorry for any short person coming to my house, because you're gonna need a step stool. Because most sinks don't even come to my waist at all. They come like below my hips a lot of times. So it hurts just bending over to wash my hands. Just, you know, simple stuff. So my house is gonna be made with giants in mind. Have to. Have to. 638. And this is why I don't take trades off of the zone if it doesn't change colors. Because this trade right here was absolutely valid until it touched that. And I would have gotten wicked out literally by one tick. I would have lost the trade. And that would have been a bummer. Apple, have you tried to go to a chiropractor or any like holistic practitioner? Look, everybody's just waiting. It's so crazy how so many people that I watch trade so differently. And, you know, some people with markets like this, they thrive. And the rest of us, it's like, you might get 2 good trades in that day. And that's it. What is, oh, he's in a buy. What is the price of that? I can't see it. You're tall also. Tall people unite. It's crazy how tall I am because my mom's family, they are tall. So my grandma is one of 8 kids. She's the only girl. And all of her brothers are, I think probably the shortest brother that she has is 5'8", and the tallest is probably 6'4". But most of her brothers are over 6 feet. And then my grandma's like probably 5'6". But that's on my mom's side. And then on my dad's side, most of them were short. Like he's 5'11", and he's one of the tallest people in his family. Like my grandpa on his side was about 5'8", I think, 5'8", 5'9". My grandma was about 5'8" on his side, but on his dad's side, all of his sisters were short. Like I'm talking 4'10". The tallest might have been 5'1". And it's so funny because everybody on this side of the family is so short. I have this one aunt, well, she's really my cousin, but I call her Aunt Nini. And every time I would see her, she'd be like, "You're just so tall. Are you growing?" I'm thinking, lady, I've been taller than you since I was like 6. Because I've legit been 5'10" since I was 10 years old. No lie. I tried chiropractors when it first happened. One of them helped temporarily. One of them didn't help at all. Yeah. At least it doesn't lock up the way it used to. That was hell on earth. Yeah. When your back lock up, it's like everything is shut down. Everything. When we buy our house, Bill. Bill, I'm not finna play with you this morning. I'm not. I'm not. Applejacks, is it more of like a spinal injury or is it more of like a muscular or like tendon injury, or do you know? Because besides chiropractors, the only thing else I can think of is having to get like consistent massages or something. That's the only thing I can really think of. And maybe you don't even have to go to get massages, but you know, they have those massage pads that are not very expensive. My mom has one. It's probably like this big. And the balls in it are pretty hard. So like when I can tell like everything is too tight in my back, I will just put that on the bed. I'll put a heating pad over it and I'll lay on it. And it can hurt a little bit sometimes because the balls are so hard. Like I'm someone who can't even get deep tissue massages because I feel like that shit hurt. Why? You ain't got to get that deep. Okay, pause. But yeah, so if it's something muscular, maybe you have to do something like that. Yeah, I was off at 14. Oh, you was 6 feet at 14 and only got to 6'5". Yeah, I've been 5'10" since 10 and I didn't grow no more. My body was like, halt, that's it. I've definitely thought about getting massages more often. I'm looking. Before we get off the stream, actually, hold on, because I think it's like right here. Hold on, I'll show you what I got. I can't take a trade right now, but looks like this. And these are the little balls or whatever. I don't think this one can actually heat up, but there are some that actually can heat so that you don't have to put a heating pad on it. But they like roll around in circular motions, and it typically works for me. But you definitely either want to get more massages. Now, if I were you, I wouldn't do a deep tissue massage though. Do not do that. Because if you have an injury, whether it's a small tear, a strain, whatever, do not do deep tissue massages. You are going to hate yourself. Don't do it. Because all it's going to do is just make the injury worse, because they're basically going to make the area even more inflamed. Like whenever you go get deep tissue massages, you know, they always tell you to drink a whole lot of water. You have to be really hydrated because it can be painful. Like you can literally be sore for a couple of days. So if you already have an injury, you definitely don't want to do that. But just a regular old massage or something like that, you should be fine. And if it's muscular, try using more heating pads. Like I don't know why people like ice in injuries. I mean, unless something's swollen, I understand ice, but most injuries are muscular, you should use more heating pads than anything, because you think about it. If you're using ice for an injury, ice is going to make the area feel tight. So that can make things more painful. Now, again, if it's swollen, that's a whole nother thing. But if you don't have any swelling, use more heat than ice. And you would feel a whole lot better, because of course the heat is going to relax the muscle and things like that. And if you have a muscular injury, the relaxation from the heat is going to be better than the constricting from the ice. I'm the tallest woman in my family. You're the tallest woman at 5'2". Girl. That's why I'm available for you, because you need massage. Now, Bill, do you want me or Applejacks? What is this? I'm confuzzled. And I'm offended. You finna get blocked. You sending mixed signals here, Bill. You want to buy a house with me and give massages to Applejacks? Are you trying to make us sister wives? Because what is this? You also have a pinched nerves hurt. I have headaches probably 4 to 5 days out of the week because I got a pinched nerve in my neck. It's definitely me. Nah, he trying to give you massages. Like, what's up? But yeah, I have a pinched nerve in my neck and it's not great. And it's so crazy because my first year as a nurse, I worked in a neuro unit, right? And I would get these headaches that I would describe as a nerve headache. Like I could literally trace where the pain starts in the base of my neck, and I could trace it all the way through my head to the back of my eye. Like I know exactly where it is in my brain. And I remember they did an MRI, but they never did an X-ray ever. So, you know, they just kept telling me, well, it's definitely not migraines and it's definitely not a regular headache, but we can't figure anything out. You don't have any swelling in your brain, da 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 da. But they never did X-rays. So it wasn't until, and then I ended up getting into a car accident when I was probably about, I'm gonna say 23 or so. I was living in Texas. I was driving through a parking lot, like a corner bank parking lot. So the guy in front of me goes into, like, he's pulling into the spot, right? So naturally, you're going to think to yourself, this person's pulling into the spot, I can go past them. Well, he gets halfway into the spot and he just reverses. Well, I had already, I'm going past him already and I see red. So I turned to the side and he hit me and it shifted my neck back straight, which is why I always have a pinched nerve. And y'all, it was so crazy. He was like upset at me as if I did something. He's like, I'm going to call your insurance. You can do whatever you want to, because there's no way that I could be blamed for this. You went halfway into the spot and you like ran. You're thinking to yourself, this is this is a parking lot, right? There's no way he did so much damage to the right side of my car that I could barely open either of the car doors over there. So he ended up doing like almost $1,500 worth of damage, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, his insurance company was trying to ask me stupid questions like, well, did you try to avoid it? We're in a parking lot. How fast do you think I'm driving? And this is a bank parking lot at that. The aisle is already small. Where was I going to avoid this? And he had, when they used to say built Ford tough, though, I don't know how they built those cars. It had to be made of steel, because all the damage he did to my car, he had not one scratch on the back of his damn car. It was a Ford. Oh, I forget what car it was. I feel like it was one of those super old Ford Tauruses or something. I can't remember. But he didn't have not a scratch. And so ever since then, the nerve headaches got worse. And it wasn't until I went to the chiropractor, and that's when I found out that my neck had ended up being shifted straight. Because I already was going to the chiropractor. And the crazy thing was, when I got into that accident, I had just came from the chiropractor. So my back was loose as a goose. And I remember, the police asked if I needed an ambulance. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just on my way to the store. Y'all, I got halfway into the first aisle in that store, and I like collapsed. Like, I fell to the ground. I was crying. I was in so much pain between my neck and my back, like my lower back. It was so bad. So I ended up like blowing my chiropractor's phone up, because I had the last appointment. I'm like, he has to still be there. I called that man like 20 times. He finally called me back and was like, what's going on? So he told me to come back so he could readjust me. And my back was so bad that he ended up having to buy certain equipment that no other client of his needed this particular equipment but me. That's how bad my back was. I had to go like 3 times a week for at least 3 months. It was really bad. Really, really bad. And I feel like ever since that, I just never really recovered. That was the only accident I've ever been in. Well, besides one, I was a passenger in a car with someone, but he didn't run into another car. He ran into a wired median when we were driving back from California to St. Louis. We were in we were going to Denver, because we went from California to Vegas to Denver, and then Denver back to St. Louis. And he's from Atlanta. So I kept trying to tell him, like, we were trying to beat the blizzard anyway, because we just knew, like, there was so much snow in the forecast. So I told him, I said, all right, the snow is starting to come down. Somebody from Atlanta don't know how to drive in snow. Y'all don't even see snow. So I kept telling him, like, chill out, just chill out. And he wasn't driving fast, but when it's snowing, even 35 miles an hour can be fast, especially you up in the mountains. So it's automatically freezing as soon as it hits the ground. And he just ended up, I knew it was coming. I literally braced myself, put the blanket over my head like 30 seconds before it happened. I just knew it was going to happen. So he hit the wired median. Thank goodness we didn't hit another car. And thank goodness we weren't on the outside, because we could have went tumbling over the mountain and y'all wouldn't have ever known who I was. But that's the only other accident I've ever been in, but that wasn't anything. I didn't have any injuries from that one, but man, oh man. It's almost 10:30 already. This morning has gone by so fast. So fast. Almost away. Oh yeah, that's dumb. Anyway. Still nothing setting up. Honestly, I would be surprised if I get one more trade before the session ends. Let's see. We went from 850 to 903, 903 to 1001. So there was basically an hour between trade 2 and 3. So I don't know about another trade, but $19 for a 50K. Are you upset? Are you upset? See, I can't take this sell. Really, I kind of want to see us break above this VWAP. But we need to break probably to like maybe 110 or so. Because even if we break to the upside, I need my minor level to switch back in front of the major. I'll show you guys something. So I've shown this on the stream before. It was a long time ago. So this is the two other indicators on my chart that I see that you guys don't see because it's kind of heavy on the computer. But why I said I needed it to come up a little bit before I could look for buys is because you can see the major level is the thicker dotted line and the minor one is this one. So I would need for this line to cross above it. It's almost like a slow MA and a fast MA, kind of, sort of, a little bit, but not quite. But yeah, so I need that to cross in front of it, and then I can start looking for buy pullbacks. So you can see that we've still been in this overall uptrend. That's why the background is green. And so every time we've kind of come down, this is like a deeper pullback into the overall trend. Every time we've come into that deeper pullback, we've rejected and continued the uptrend every single time. Now the bars are changing colors because of the minor level. So once we, you have like a trail and stop on each one of them. So once the price closes above the trail and stop, it changes from a downtrend to an uptrend and then vice versa. So the white line is the trail and stop for the overall trend. And that's how I draw my change zones, which I don't really need it, right? Well, yes, I do. You can't see the market structure indicator, but the market structure indicator shows the really thick blue line right here. So that's how I draw the box for the bias change. But yeah, so whenever I'm like saying, oh, I just need the color to change, or the color change is more important, like I was talking about that last week, that's what I'm talking about. So like when I take some of the divergence trades and I'm like, oh, it's not really a counter trend. It's not, because my overall bias is an uptrend. So this divergence is just a deeper pullback into the overall trend, but it's not counter trend. Counter trend would be this divergence because we are in an uptrend. So those are the only other two indicators that I have that you guys can't see on the screen that you guys see, but that's it. So I see the same thing y'all see minus that. And when my levels are out of order like that, then I look at the charts a lot different. And most of the time, whatever trade I'm trying to take, I can't take until the levels get back in order. And that's the solar wind indicator from NinjaCo. And it's basically a version of a half trend. It's a half trend with a trail and stop. What do you say? It's grinding lower. Now my levels are super close together, so it can create kind of like a squeeze type of situation. So we'll just see what happens. And I have to use the bathroom, and I could tell that whatever happens next I can't take, so I'll be right back. Alrighty. All right, we got 30 minutes left. Did he get off the stream? Oh no, he's just quiet. What is he? Oh, he didn't sell. $105. Maybe his entry is like up here. What are we gonna do, market? What are we going to do? Definitely gonna have to break to probably like 110. At least 108 probably. He almost back to breaking even on his trade. He's been in that trade for a long time. So maybe 920. Methodical said, there's no clear entry. Really, you shouldn't be taking trades on a day like this. Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. Just very icky, very, very icky. Still nothing. We got 30 minutes left. I guess I just have to see what the price action looks like, but definitely can't take a sell at any point right now. Can't take it with the double top here. And if we push too far up, I still can't take it because we'd be going back. We'll be selling going back towards the buy rotation level. But all right, so we got a double top. Still can't take buys though because my minor level's still behind the major. So trash Monday, absolutely, absolutely. It's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to fall? Do you want to push? What do you want? What do you want from me? It's crazy because like the way we wicked with this candle, initially I thought like, all right, maybe we'll have a good uptrending day. But then because the candle wasn't green I was like, who knows? Who knows? And we've just been a hot, choppy mess. Choppy mess. He might be able to break even on his trade if he ends up getting out at break even. 105.25. He's close. Got another double top here. You think it wants me to eat lunch? You think everything makes you want to eat something. It's always lunchtime. As soon as you wake up, it's lunchtime. You ain't even ate breakfast yet. I don't know. I feel like everybody should get off the charts by 11 today. Hell, maybe even now. Just not doing nothing. Unless there's some crazy pickup in the afternoon, I just don't see much happening. About to load up me a top step. Darn right. Trenches, are you still do you still have other top step accounts? And did they make that big announcement? I saw some people talking about how Top Step said they had some really big announcements or something to make. Some people were speculating that you'll be able to have more than 3 accounts. Of course, it was a lot of speculation with different things, but I didn't even keep up with it because I don't got accounts with them. Oh, that's what you were talking about, the $19 for 50K, for a 50K account? Oh. Should you do it? Should you do it? They got their own trading platform. You know, I don't really know if I would want to trade on a platform that's created by the prop firm that I'm trading with. Now, I would hope that some of and we do have some crazy futures prop firms that, are scamming people. But I would hope that because futures is so much more regulated than Forex is, that, people wouldn't manipulate data and shit like that. But you kind of really just never know. I don't really know if I trust it at all. I don't know if I would trust that. I mean, even though they're still not the data provider, but still, I don't think I want your platform. Because aren't they doing something where you can get more accounts or something if you trade on their platform versus if you don't, or something like that? I'm not sure. Top Step X. Turns out the announcement was for Top Step going public in discounts. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, I don't know if I would trust a prop firm that got their own platform. It's giving manipulated data. It's giving. I don't know. I don't know if I would trust it. But they've been around long enough to where hopefully they don't do something so crazy. You got too many customers that can get you in a class action lawsuit real fast. But I mean, I guess if it works for them, I don't know. I don't know. For me, I honestly probably wouldn't even look at other props until I've maxed out with 20 accounts with Apex. It's just my personal thing that I'm gonna do. Unless I feel like, okay, so what are we gonna do here? Unless I feel like, all right, this company over here, I can get paid weekly, quote unquote. So maybe in between the payouts from Apex, I can get some payouts over here, and do every 2 weeks in between the Apex 2 weeks, kind of. That probably would be the only reason I would do it. I don't know. I do have a buy setting up. I don't really like that we're pushing off of the changeover zone over here, but that doesn't make a difference in the trade. So hopefully we got enough of a push off the VWAP to support the push, but you know, do have a zigzag change, so, and it's after 10:30 and we haven't had much volatility today, so we'll just have to see what happens, but gotta stay in the trade and let it work itself out. Either way, win, lose, or draw. I don't know if we're gonna have enough. Don't know if we're gonna have enough steam. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Please don't wick me out to the tick though. If you don't take me out, take me out. These are the setups I don't like after 10:30 because of the volume. Like how I trade this particular setup. So this swing had more volume than this one, so I'm basically looking for less volume in this candle than the reversal candle, which is fine. However, the problem is there's already not a lot of volume and volatility in the market to begin with, so I'm already requiring less volume for the push, but then there's already no volume to push it, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but yeah, not my favorite, but I have to take the trade. So just icky. Icky. Data provider plus 500. Good morning, Moment. What's the best take profit stop loss strategy that works for you? Look at this, y'all. One more tick is the take profit. Anyway, so I trade on 16 tick charts, basically. 16 tick Renko charts. So I use a stop loss of 18 ticks for a take profit of 18 ticks. So I do a 1-to-1. When I'm 16 ticks in profit, my stop loss automatically moves to break even. But everyone's ATM strategy or whatever definitely has to be based on your own strategy. I've seen people ask that like in Facebook groups and stuff, and I just have to remind them that one person's stop loss and take profit that works for their strategy doesn't mean it's going to work for yours. I mean, I'm scalping, and even if you're scalping on different types of charts, like a tighter stop loss might not work, because I mean, with me trading Renko bars are price based, not time based, volume based, nothing like that. So I can be a lot more tight on my stop loss because I have more precise entries. But then you have times like this where I'll just get stopped out by a couple of ticks, and I just have to eat that because typically I don't really have to deal with that. So I just gotta deal sometimes. Take profit trader is the only one I've seen that allows withdrawals whenever. Okay, I'll look into them. You're long at 18,106. What was my entry? I don't even remember. 18,108.75. I definitely was hoping that we could push through that, but especially with the VWAP being there. Now the VWAP was below my minor level, but that doesn't really matter. I would have preferred it to be on top of it, but that doesn't make a difference in the trade though. I do wonder, that has to this has to stall here for a minute before I can even get into it, and it looks like it's gonna push before it stalls long enough. Somebody said they had to break down the Top Step 50K scam. What? Wait, who did it? Oh, Nutty did. Nutty broke down the Top Step 50K scam really good. I don't know if he just did it on his stream or what. Yeah, see, we got a zigzag change again. It's trying to push, but it just can't. Now, let me look at this. Because I have been wondering with certain setups if I do need to break even, and this is really one of the ones I've been thinking about, because if I require less volume for the trade and the zigzag changes, I wonder if that could be a problem. Delete that. I might have to look at that later. It's not like the biggest deal right now, but I do want to look at that because I feel like I'm noticing a pattern of, if certain trades the zigzag changes, that I do need to not take the trade or get out of the trade manually, break even. But I'm not all the way sure. Let me see something. That one doesn't count. This one doesn't count. Let me look at, what was the pattern for that? Yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling that there's something that I'm missing here. Like I tell you guys, I'm not trying to win every trade, but I feel like there's a pattern that I'm seeing consistently with certain losses with this particular setup that I'm missing. I'm missing something. I don't know if it's the VWAP. I don't know if I need to look at a specific pattern for, like, if it's reacting off the V. I don't know what it is. But like I told you guys, the VWAP was below my minor level here, right? Now it was above the minor level right here because we had a little small trend up, and you could see we reacted the exact way that I wanted it to react there. So I'm gonna have to look to see what component of this trade I can quantify, because it's something. I promise you, it's something. I just got to figure out what it is, and maybe it's not anything. Maybe it's not anything. So the only other thing is my minor level crossed the major in this swing right here. That could be a thing. I don't know. You're welcome, Moment. You are welcome. Honestly, most people's strategies, you're not going to have a set stop loss and take profit. You're not. Because if you trade with volume bars, maybe range bars is a little bit different. But if you trade with time-based candles, tick-based candles, if you trade with any of those candle types, you cannot use a set stop loss and take profit, because it's not going to be like a consistent stop loss and take profit most of the time. It's not gonna be static, it's gonna be dynamic. So it's kind of hard because, you know, most people, you're going to put a stop loss behind a level or behind the last swing or, you know, something like that. So gotta really be careful. And even when it comes to like your risk to reward, that's all based off of your own strategy. Some people with their setups, they can always go for a 1-to-1. Some people can always go for a 1-to-2. Some people always go for a 1-to-5. Some people, it just depends on the volatility and the volume in the market. So it's just really about, once you figure out a strategy that you really like that can get you however many setups you would prefer to see most days, it's just about quantifying it. Figuring out where you usually need to put your stop, figuring out, okay, am I going to have multiple contracts and scale out of the trade? You know, let's say I go in with 5 micros. But once I get to a 1-to-1, I pull 3 of them off. And when it gets to a 1-to-2, I pull the next one off. When it gets to a 1-to-3, I pull the last one off. So it's just a matter of how you're going to make the strategy work for you. Most strategies work to a certain extent. For some people, it's the psychological aspect of trading that screws them up. And then for others, your strategy works, but maybe you're not getting consistent results because of something that you're not paying attention to. Maybe you need pivot levels on your chart. Maybe you just never know. All strategies are just so different. But you have to figure out what it is you're looking for at the time. And let me see. 288. That stalled there for too long. I really wanted to get into the buy off of this level, but we stalled way too long. We got 9 more minutes left. Boba in a rice bowl for you. I don't think I've ever had boba before. 288. I don't think we're gonna get a rejection that I want. See, the only way for this trade to work out is if we don't stall for long. Whatever bar it is that pushes up, if we end up getting a rejection off 111.50, it cannot stay for long. It has to just go. Somebody said Top Step X is horrible for scalping. Trades don't execute. Alright, see, now the trade invalidated itself. We pushed way too slow. I just really feel like I lost the trade like this Friday. I did lose a trade like that, but it was a little bit different though, because it didn't react off of my minor level, but the volume pattern was the same. I don't know. Yeah, that was the trade that I lost at 10:30, and it went 2 ticks beyond my stop loss and stopped me out. I'm pretty sure this one did the same exact thing. 450. Yeah, this one literally, I lost the exact same way. I wonder. I have a feeling that, let me see. Oh, I think I changed it though, just a little bit. I don't know. Wait a second. $10:30 on Friday. Oh wait. 10:30 this one. No, the setup was a little bit different on Friday. Yeah, I highly doubt I get another trade. But I really do think I want to look at that setup specifically, because there's something about it that I just don't like. I wonder if the patterns. I got a feeling that I need to restrict the volume pattern a little bit. Now that I'm like thinking about what the chart looks like, what the volume pattern, the loose volume pattern is that I'm okay with trading, I feel like I want to restrict it a little bit, but I won't know. So basically what I'm going to do is, as soon as I get off the stream, I'm going to look at all the trades that set up that exact same way, but I'm going to look at one volume pattern versus a second one, because there's basically two potential volume patterns that I can look for right here. And just the thought process of what the volume looks like in these swings before it sets up, it kind of makes sense why the second volume pattern probably works out a little bit more, but I won't really know until I go through the data and look, and I'll report back to you guys tomorrow. But I don't know, it's like just thinking about it, it kind of makes sense why the other one would just be better. So we'll see, because the reality is, like, the way that I think about pullbacks, right? If we have, let's say, okay, this volume in this swing was more than this volume in this swing, all right? However, the very next swing, the volume in this swing was less than the volume in that swing. And so the way that my thought process is, if we are continuing the uptrend, right, and we didn't hit a level or anything here, because if we hit a level, that's different. Like if we hit the overnight high or we hit a pivot level and we're bouncing off of that, then it makes sense for the swing to be so much more than the previous swing, because you're reacting off of something. But when we're not reacting off of anything and the swing is, the volume is, it took more to reverse than it did the previous reversal, I feel like there's a certain volume pattern that you need with that. Because if we're continuing a strong uptrend, we should need less volume in each swing down to continue up, basically. So I'm gonna look at that, because something's off. Something is off, because most of my trades where the current swing before I enter the trade, most of the trades that happen like that, where the current swing is less than the previous swing in the same direction, those trades have very, very high win ratios, very, very high. It's the other ones that don't, so I have to just kind of work through that. But let me show you guys what the accounts are looking like. I'm mad because I was up like what, 168 or something per account. I'm gonna be even more mad if I go through and I look at those volume patterns and I realize that, yo, you really wanted to look for something totally different. Well, not totally different, but you want to X out one of the patterns you've been trading. We'll see. I don't know. This price action is a shit show, Janelle. It is. But I made it out green, so I guess I'll be happy. Whatevs. But yeah, so this is what the accounts are looking like. We did end up gaining $74 per account, so we made some progress. I only took 4 trades. I won 2, lost 1, broke even on 1. But like I said, I will report back to you guys tomorrow in regards to how I feel about the volume pattern for that particular setup. Because she has a hunch, but her hunch might be wrong. We'll see. But the goal is to possibly have a green day every day this week, making sure I'm taking all the trades, not sitting out, which I did today. I didn't get into any invalid trades, so we're good there. But yeah, too bad today, kind of sucked. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's price action is kind of shitty too, because we don't have any news at all tomorrow either, so we might not see very good price action till Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised, but all of the Wednesday news is slight impact as well, so who knows. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, even though it was a very slow day. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I was about to say Monday morning. Girl, it is Monday. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.